As more and more new cars go electric, my job of reviewing them gets slightly samier and samier. And unfortunately, the rise in EVs has coincided with the rise of modern standard fit, really annoying driver assistance systems. So what if you took an old car, a really old car, and electrified it? Wouldn't that be the dream? For a start, this is the right size for UK roads, unlike modern SUVs. This won't have any annoying modern driver assistance systems, yet it will still be zero emissions, but by virtue of being an old car, it stands a good chance of having some soul. Look, it's a Defender. Well, actually, it's a Land Rover Series IIa. Wonderful things, these, usually, until you try to drive them. Then you normally have to hit them with a spanner to make them work. But not so, because this one has been restomodded and converted to electric by Le Boffins here at Everrati. And what that means is you get an almost new, old Land Rover, but one that is silent, one that's been preserved for future generations. And that's the idea that the guys at Everrati have, to preserve these classics through electrification. You can drive this into the middle of Oxford without getting shouted at. It's going to be silent-ish, as we'll find out, and actually just a proper link to the past, that crossover between modernity and oldness. That sounds a bit like bollocks, but trust me, this is not. Not cheap either, though. You'll already have noticed there are some modern bits to it. It's got proper headlights, not little fireflies and jars like you'd have on an original. This one's in a lovely shade of pastel green as well. You can customize it to your heart's desire. You can have the spare wheel on the bonnet or at the back. You can change the color of your steel wheels. You could do a Porsche and do a paint to sample if you've got a shade of purple that you really, really love. But that's just the restomod side of it. It is one of the most beautiful Series IIas I've ever seen, but it's what's underneath that's really special. You see, when you want to fill this Landy with fuel, you unbutton this, and then look at this, you've got a proper CCS charging port on the side, because underneath you've got a 55 kilowatt hour battery pack, and it's not just been chucked in by an Under the Arches garage. It's got proper battery management system, cooling, and all the rest of it. It's as if it was built like this in the first place. The attention to detail is crazy. Now, powering this, you've got a 215 horsepower motor as well, so it's got proper sort of old Land Rover performance. 0 to 62 is just under 14 seconds. It will only do just under 70 miles an hour. They've not gone mad and ruined it by making it a four-wheel drive, Tesla-powered monster truck. It's been done with class and with style. It can charge up 70 kilowatts as well, so 10 to 80% takes about half an hour. Love it. Look at this. More EVs need leather straps and poppers. Can I get it back on? Awesome. Now, I really don't want to sit here and say, weren't the olden days great? Because I wasn't really born in the olden days. I grew up in the 90s when the best thing we had was the Backstreet Boys. But weren't the olden days great? Look at this. It's a masterpiece of simplicity and beauty with some modern touches. So Everrati have given this heated seats, proper bum warmers. There are subwoofers in here as well. You've got a heated screen as well to help with demisting. Sumptuous leather from Bridge of Weir, who work with some very, very posh car companies. There's some tweed bits around. There's lovely carpets. It feels like I'm sitting in a very well-appointed castle, to be honest. It is stunning. And it's all finished off with this lovely, lovely wheel as well. Metal and wood. And it's knurled at the back. Feels amazing. Ergonomically, it's classic Land Rover, which means I don't really fit in it. I'm getting a bit of cramp in my legs, but honestly, I wish you could smell this on YouTube because it is a work of art. I've always wanted to do my boring back seat bit in an old Land Rover Series IIa. Knee room slightly lacking for someone who's 6'3", but luckily that chair moves a bit, so I can get my knees in. Headroom is fine. No space for your feet. They don't go anywhere. That's not because it's an EV. It's because it's a cool old car. But otherwise, it's mostly about the smell back here. No Isofix, though. Getting a child seat in might be tricky, but back in the day when this was current, you just lashed them to the roof with bungee cords and it was fine. The olden days were better, I'm telling you. To access the boot, you have to do a bit of unzipping, but once you have, you've got 9 seats in total, and these are all heated, and they now have, wait for it, seat belts as well. If this isn't the perfect pub car, I don't know what is. But you wouldn't really want to put your mates in here after the pub because it's a bit too posh. It is lovely. Look at the carpet. That's nicer than in my house. Right, let's drive it. Right, we're going to go for a drive in the Everrati Land Rover Series IIa, and it starts with a key. Yes, we like cars that start with keys. Right, there you go. Look, you've got needles sweeping around. Look at this. No digital dashboard in sight. Well, there is a tiny bit of a digital screen down there, which shows you your speed. But otherwise, foot on the brake, pull it back with this lovely wooden knob back into D with a little bit of a thunk. And then off we go once that van has got out of the way. There we go. And immediately, within a meter, this feels incredibly special. So you've got an original transfer case, taking the electric power to the wheels, and you hear it all the time, and it's brilliant. The steering is original Land Rover steering with electrical assistance added. So at low speeds, it's not too much like hard work. But my God, even just going in a straight line, if you've driven an old Defender, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is a job of work to keep this thing going in a straight line. And that is just fantastic. It's not going to pull your hair off with performance or anything like that, but you kind of don't want to go any faster than what it's giving you already. The brakes do actually work, so it's got disc brakes front and back now as well, but it's vibrating, it's noisy, I can hear the wind, I can hear bits of metal whirring away down there. This thing is what I hoped it would be. It's an EV that's got genuine soul. I'm about to do a 3-point turn in it, so thank God for the power steering. Right, reverse. There we go. It's still a bit heavy. I'm not going to lie, the steering. But there we go. I mean, yes, this is what I've been missing from modern cars. This is what you don't get. In a world where noise, vibration, and harshness have been absolutely eradicated from the world of driving, I imagine taking this thing to the local pub down some country lanes would just be one of life's great driving experiences. Holding this tiny thin wheel, actually being able to see every corner of the car as well, and not feeling like, you know, if a modern Range Rover came around the corner, you would be on a one-way trip to the hedge. This feels lithe and small. Well, not lithe, it feels small. It feels weighty and engaging as well. And actually, I'm not missing the horrible clatter of an old engine, to be honest. It's got an instant throttle pickup. You can change the sensitivity of the throttles to sport mode and things like that, but it's just a simple button. It's not really a gimmick. I don't think this has really lost anything in terms of being electrified. In fact, I'd say it's gained usability. Obviously, I'm not poisoning any children or the atmosphere. Maybe this is what it should always have been like. I've finally driven an EV with character. You just need quite a lot of money to do it, but I kind of want one now. Anyway, that was a very quick first look at what I think might really be the future of interesting electric stuff. Actually, I'm just going to take up that road one more time because that was too much fun. Leaf springs doing their job. Because this is underneath still a Series IIa, it's not going to win any awards for refinement. I can actually feel the wind on my head, despite the fact the roof is fully up. And the steering is just, yeah, it needs a lot of work to get it even in a straight line. But it's just nice knowing that you're not emitting clouds of black smoke behind you. And it's still a really addictive driving experience. I imagine there'll be people in the comments saying, oh, you can't take an old car and electrify it. Well, you can. And you know what? Sometimes I think it's genuinely going to improve it. And this is a case in blooming point. Anyway, let's head back to me for a conclusion. So what we have here is an incredible feat of restoration. The attention to detail, the craftsmanship, the quality of the engineering is second to none. It is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful work of art. As an EV, it has also done something that I never really expected from an electric car. It has got the S word, soul. Obviously, loads of that comes from what it is underneath, what it originally was, and what it still is, a Series 2 Land Rover. It's got all the noises, it's got the same steering feel, but crucially, this is a reliable turnkey car that you can use whenever you like, and actually you've lost nothing by it being converted to electric power. So as a package, it is absolutely phenomenal. It is wonderful to drive, and every drive is an event. They've taken away the things it didn't need, but retained everything else. But there is a bit of a but. It is £250,000, near enough for this, but it is really the panacea of electric cars. Now, obviously lots of you in the comments are going to be saying, why have you converted this to an electric car? But that's the debate for another day. If you're very, very rich and you want to go and have adventures and you admire what this stands for, don't think twice, go and buy one. This has gone straight on my lottery win list. Anyway, thank you for watching this ever so slightly different video. Subscribe to the Motorpoint YouTube channel where we'll be back filming used cars in the forests very soon. That's up my nose. I'll see you next time. Go down to the comments and tell me why you would never buy an electric car, probably. Goodbye.